Hello guys. Now, like I promised in the previous video, today I'm going to be explaining or introducing you to auto layout in Figma. Now, auto layout is, I would say, is one of the most powerful features of Figma provided by Figma that helps us to make our design respond to across different screen sizes. Okay, so you can use auto layout to add breakpoints and set the constraint on your user interface, okay, on your screen, so that it will be responsive across different devices. That is why you can design a desktop, that is a website, okay, on a desktop screen, and you can also open the same website on a mobile phone, and then it will scale to the size of that mobile phone. Okay, like this very simple wireframe gray boxing sample you are looking at here. I created a very simple desktop frame and then added 4 containers, 4 boxes in it. And then this is how it is supposed to look on mobile phone. When the user opens this very website, on their mobile phone, it scales down just like this. Instead of 4 columns, it's going to be 2 columns and 2 rows. Okay, on the web we have 4 columns and a single row. On mobile we have 2 columns and 2 rows. So how do we set our platform or our product to scale depending on the device the user is using? Okay, that is where we use auto layout. All right, so how do we use auto layout? First of all, I'm going to come over here and insert or draw a simple container. Assuming it is a web container, I'll do this and then draw more in here. Assuming we have content inside this box, I'll just draw this. I think I'm going to make that smaller. So let's make it smaller. Okay, so I'll change the color over here a bit, and then maybe add a bit of corner radius, 8 pixels. Okay, let's make that 24 pixels. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this box and then duplicate that those 2 boxes once again, and then I'm going to set the space in between to 24 or so. I'm using my 8 point spacing or 8 pixel spacing or 4 pixel spacing here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I want to add auto layout to this container. First of all, I'm going to set the container color to white, or just turn it to set it to 1% opacity. Okay, so we have a container, that's a rectangle that serves as a container for our content right there. So how do I make it responsive now? Assuming that I'm about to place this content inside a website, on a website screen, okay, inside the website, and I want it to work in a way that just like we have over here, once the user opens it on their desktop, on their computer, their PC, they are going to see the 4 column and a single row grid system here. But once they open the same website on their mobile device, iPhone, Android, or any mobile device, depending on the screen size, is going to scale down. Okay, again, depending on the screen size, whether tablet, mobile, or desktop. So this is how to set it. I'm going to highlight everything here, and then over here we have the auto layout option. Again, you can also use the keyboard shortcut Shift A to add auto layout to make it responsive. So I'm going to tap on that. It's going to convert this to an auto layout frame. Right there, you can see that frame 5. I'm going to name that auto layout. All right, so now this is not yet responsive. Assuming that this particular section on this website, a user opens this website on their mobile device, it's going to scale down. I mean, the screen is going to be relatively smaller. So if I reduce this screen size or this frame size, you see nothing is happening to the content. It is not scaling as it should. All right, So what I want to achieve is, as the screen size reduces, this content is going to wrap down, okay, which means this one here is going to switch down to the bottom here, creating two rows for me. If I open it on a smaller screen, I'm going to have these two out here is going to scale down or wrap down to the bottom here, giving me two rows and two columns, okay, so that the users will be able to view the full content on their mobile phone screen. Okay, so how do I do that? This is how I apply that. After adding my auto layout frame, I'll come over here. First of all, check out the layout options. Okay, currently it is set to, that is the justify content is set to horizontal flow. I'm going to leave that. Then I'll come over here and apply text, wrapping. Okay, I'll apply wrapping. Then on the width here, I'll tap on it and then select hug content, which means that the parent frame is going to scale depending on, it's going to consider the size of the content of the container and then scale accordingly. All right, which means that if I reduce the size of the content inside this auto layout container, the container will scale down also to accommodate or to hug the content inside it. All right, so the same thing for the height. I'm going to come over here and set the height to hug content. But for now, I'm not going to set the height to hug content so that you see the difference or the importance of setting it to hug. All right, so see what I'm going to do. I just made this frame or this auto layout container responsive. So if I reduce this, let's say this website now, if the user opens it on a tablet, for instance, I'm going to reduce this, and then you can see that it scales. Okay, it wraps. All right, showing the user what they need to see on the website. But see, you can see that the frame doesn't adjust, the frame remains the same. Okay, this is not proper. We have to find a way of making the frame, the height of the frame, to scale according to the content, okay, so that it will display the full content after it wraps. Okay, so it's actually wrapping horizontally, but the frame itself is not, the height is not scaling. So to fix that, I'll come over back here to the height and also set it to hug content, which means that as the content is wrapping, the scale height is also wrapping accordingly. Okay, it's also scaling according to the content inside the container. So if I come over here now and I reduce it to let's say a tablet size, you see it scales the entire container, okay, according to the content of the container. If I open this on mobile phone, it's going to scale like this. Okay, if I open it on a smaller mobile phone, it will scale accordingly like that. Okay, so this is what we call responsive design with auto layout. Very important. If you want to design for different screens or different devices, always set your use auto layout to apply your breakpoints and then make your device, your platform, responsive across different devices. Once again, after you apply your auto layout, set it to wrap. Okay, and then I can also set the location or the position of my content, the content of my auto layout frame or content. So I'm going to set this to top left corner, which means that if I do this, the items will be positioned by the top left corner of the overall frame. All right, so guys, with time, as we go advanced, I'm going to be giving you more advanced tips on auto layout and how to make your better ways of making your entire user interface or your entire product responsive across different devices. Meanwhile, you can just use this to practice your auto layout and see how you can make a simple section of your website or mobile app responsive across different screens sizes. So see you in the next video.